On August 9th, a 10-year-old boy shot his 6-year-old boy brother to death. Now, the sad news comes about knowing that they were home alone and their mom left a gun around laying somewhere just like that. Now, I have only one question, maybe two or three too. I mean, how did he know how to take off the safety? How did he know how to pull the trigger? And where did he learn all those from? That brings me down to my topic of correlation between television violence and real life violence. My name is Presentation.Nyamekye, and I'm a student at Idaho State University, and I studied child development for a semester and was involved with researchers to study how children learn and how they pick up behaviors, and that is what makes me the right person to present this topic to you. I know many people have heard about it, but you might not know what is really involved. So here I am. I want to educate you on knowing the things that can really affect our child's development, but specifically on television violence and the impact it has on our children. I want to do it in three main ways, which are social learning theory, that's one, and the second being the connection between TV violence and real life violence. The third one is the negative effects it has on the whole community. Okay, now first of all, let's talk about the social learning theory. Social learning theory was a theory that was brought about by Albert Bandura, and he explained it to be learning from one another through observation, imitation, and modeling. Now, children always do those things, but they do it in mainly three ways. And the three ways children always do that is retention, reproducing, and motivation. Now, when a child uses his retention ability, is the ability for him to remember whatever he observed anywhere. It could be anywhere, but this time I want it to be specifically on television. So what a kid observed from television, and the reproduction is when he's able to reproduce whatever he remembered. The motivation comes in as whatever influenced him to reproduce what he remembered. Now, Albert Bandura, this psychologist, did a test that he allowed children to observe aggressive behavior of an adult beating up a doll and an adult not beating up a doll. So this was two separate groups. Those who observed the aggressive behavior reproduced the same aggressive behavior, and those who did not reproduce aggressive behavior. So he was able to sum up his theory to be kids or children in general learn from whatever they observe when they are motivated or frustrated in many ways, and then they end up reproducing exactly what they saw. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the correlation between TV violence and real life violence. Right now that you know about the social learning theory, you know children can learn from observing, let's think about this. Children on average spend 6 hours or 6 hours on screens a day, and that is 3 hours more than they used to in the year 1995. Now, at least there are about 5 devices that children can use to see screens: television, video games, phones, tablets, laptops. There is more, but these are the most common ones to our children. Now, we all watch movies, and sometimes parents turn a blind eye to the movies they watch with their kids. It's an animation, it's just an action movie, it's just an action figure, a superhero movie. But then we forget about the fact that there is still violence, there is still blood. Now, these young kids are seeing people beat up bad guys, shoot bad guys, kill bad guys from that age. How are they not going to observe and reproduce, because they're going to be motivated to be like superheroes trying to protect other people and end up killing or doing something bad to someone because they saw it on TV? Now, this statistically has really proven that many kids who are involved in bullying and aggressive behavior are also the same ones who are high in percentage for playing video games. Now, that alone says a lot about the correlation, because because those who are playing more video games are the same ones that are acting aggressive behaviors in schools and involved in bullying, fighting, and beating up people. On the other hand, those who play lesser games are all the way down too. So you can really understand the correlation there. Now, thirdly, I would really like to talk about the effects it has on the community. Knowing that most of these kids are victims of suicide and victims of bullying, we always wonder where they learn those behaviors from. Okay, now many TV shows might be showing kids bullying other kids in school and news and things about kids committing suicide because they were bullied. Sorry, because they were bullied or because someone is picking on them. But then, where did they learn to do all those things? And where did those kids who are committing suicide because they are being bullied, because of their gender, race, appearance, economic status? I mean, why? How? How do they learn to commit suicide because they are being bullied? There is only one answer. They learned all this from TV. And if you learn stuff like this from TV, you are really going to end up in a bad place. And knowing that you can observe and learn things at that tender age of 52 months, anybody can learn anything bad. And this whole thing implies that the community as a whole has to do something better. Because if we turn a blind eye to all these violence going on, kids shooting kids because they bullied them, kids putting a knife through another kid because he was mean to him, kids doing what kids are not supposed to do. But then, because they saw it on TV, they are influenced and motivated enough to do it. Now, one other question I have is, what happens to our culture? Since we all know culture is the way of life. And if all these kids are watching TV and seeing sex abuse, drug abuse, violent behaviors, bloody scenes from movies, and they are picking up things from all those scenes, how do we explain to ourselves when our kids or our children end up to be those type of people they saw on TV, or end up reproducing the same behaviors they saw on TV? It will be a sad story to tell. Now, this community is the one suffering. Fine, the parents are suffering because they are in agony that their kids are doing that. A parent will be in agony if their kid bullies another kid. But what about the other kid's parents, the victim of the bullying? If you commit suicide, the parents are also going to be in pain and sadness forever because their kid committed suicide. Now, all these effects are very bad for the community, and if we can put a stop to the start of the problem, then we can end the whole crisis. We can end the whole problem. Now, think about it this way. If you make sure your kid follows a certain procedure so he doesn't get in the way of the wrong, in the way of violence, how is he going to reproduce violence when he hasn't observed or learned violence? It's very simple. It's very simple for us to do. So I will urge everyone that violence is a bad thing, and violence can be available to any kid at any time on any device. So if we can protect our children from all those devices and protect our children from games and movies that are rated above their age, then we can have a better community in the future. Thank you.